not quite as cold as it was here last Sunday when the kickoff temperature was right around 12 degrees. Today, a balmy 25 when you factor in the wind chill as we get you set for the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. Today's game being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. Jets, Vikings meeting today. We'll have the opening kickoff next. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Presenting Subway Fresh Buzz. Subway, the official training restaurant of Robert Griffin III, Justin Tuck, Anthony Barr, and athletes everywhere. In what many considered a possible Super Bowl preview, the Packers hosted the Patriots last Sunday. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers threw touchdown passes to tight end Richard Rodgers and receiver Jordy Nelson, as Green Bay scored on each of their 5 first-half possessions and earned a win that put the Packers alone in first place in the NFC North.
This holiday season, Subway is celebrating you. It's customer appreciation, and we're saying thanks by offering 2 all-time favorite 6-inch sandwiches for $2 each. The tremendously tasty meatball marinara and cold cut combo, always made fresh from the bread up with whatever your taste buds wish. So let Subway treat you with these 2 delicious $2 sandwiches this holiday season during our customer appreciation celebration. Subway, eat fresh.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Here in Minneapolis, temperatures in the low 30s, right around 24, 25 degrees when you factor in the wind chill. As these brave souls have come out here at TCF Bank Stadium, downtown Minneapolis, on the campus of the University of Minnesota. There's Mike Zimmer, the 58-year-old rookie NFL head coach, his first head coaching position at any level. And Rex Ryan, who is on that hot seat that continues to get a little bit warmer with each passing week. Jets will receive. Blair Walsh boots it away. This is Percy Harvin, the former Minnesota Viking, across the 20 and brought down at around the 23-yard line after a return of 18 yards. Here comes Geno Smith, the 24-year-old second-year quarterback, just 1-8 solid as a starter this season.
Well, he talked about it, and I love some of the things I heard from him when we met with him last night, Spiro. Full accountability for the need to improve at the quarterback position. He feels that he's let a lot of people down, but he's got 4 games to recover and make up for it.
You see his numbers, so much made of that game plan offensively last week. And what was a very winnable game on Monday night against the Dolphins. They pass on first down, and it's picked off. Gerald Hodges inside the 10, and he is in for the pick 6. And a nightmare start for Geno Smith and the Jets.
He was trying to go to Percy Harvin on the quick slant route, and Hodges was able to jump the route. He read the eyes of the young quarterback, Geno Smith. Go ahead and take a look. It's going to be a quick slant right here. That's where he's trying to go. If we go ahead and take a look at it, he's going to try to get it in, and look at Hodges, able to jump the route from the slot route.
Hodges,
yeah, it's a good read on the quarterback, right?
27 yards on the return by Hodges today, making the start for the rookie outside linebacker Anthony Barr, who's out with the knee injury, as the point after from Walsh is good. I can't imagine a worse start for Rex Ryan's Jets as we take another look.
Look at Hodges jump the route, one hand. Ball was thrown slightly behind him. But Geno was trusting just to cut it loose. But you have to be able to key read on the defender if that's where you want to go with the football. And then he takes a lick as he's trying to go down and make the tackle.
Sally, we had a chance to sit down with Geno, and one of the things he said was, look, I know I've been a big part of the problem. I wanted to be a part of the solution as they go back to him over these last 4 weeks. And now let's see what kind of resolve the young man has, who has been through the ringer, of course, with the New York media and the fan backlash in New York. An interception, return for a touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. by Gerald Hodges.
Well, turnovers have been a problem for Geno Smith. 36 total turnovers in his 26 career starts. As you take a look at Michael Vick, and, they're going to talk to the young quarterback. That was his 37th career turnover. More than anything, he's got to protect the football, but he said it himself that improvement is necessary.
Walsh, a busy man already. This time boots it through the back of the end zone. Harvin unable to play it. And Geno will hit the reset button, come back onto the field, and start from the 20. Let's look at the Jets starters offensively. DeBrickashaw Ferguson covering that blind side from Smith, the three-time Pro Bowler, 4th overall pick back in 2006. Backs and receivers, Eric Decker, back at his old stomping grounds, grew up about an hour's drive from here in Cold Spring, Minnesota, and played his collegiate football right here at this very stadium for 4 years as a Golden Gopher. Also a member of the baseball team here during his decorated collegiate career. 1st and 10, Smith from the gun on 1st and 10. This is Chris Ivory. Crosses the 20, and forward progress takes him to just outside the 21 for a pickup of 2. Let's take a look at the defensive starters for Mike Zimmer. What a season it has been for Everson Griffin. Frontline starter for the first time in his career after playing behind Jared Allen. 2nd in the NFC with his career-high 11 sacks. You already heard from Hodges starting today for the injured Barr, who misses his first game of the season, and Harrison Smith having a Pro Bowl caliber season, tied for 3rd in the NFL with 4 interceptions. 2nd and 8. This is Ivory again, unable to find the edge, picks up a yard, maybe 2. Captain Munnerlyn among the tacklers for the Vikings.
Take a look at Mike Zimmer. His defense has really got to be geared up to take the run away, and as we said, put it on Geno Smith. Geno's already thrown the interception. And remember when we talked to Rex Ryan, he said he wanted to come out and try to run it 40 or more times. It's interesting that they would open up the game with Geno throwing it after allowing him to attempt only 13 passes on the Monday night game.
3rd and 7 from the 23. Smith has time, airs it out, he's got his man wide open. Percy Harvin deep inside Minnesota territory, and finally brought down at the 34 by Josh Robinson. Harvin had about 10 yards of open space, and Geno got it to him perfectly.
Oh, look, it's just a wheel route. He was in the slot. Look, they turn him loose. He gets wide open. And Geno's not going to miss that one. He was able to see it right away and threw the ball on the money to Percy Harvin. Good read, good recognition by the quarterback, Geno Smith.
45 yards through the air to give the Jets a 1st and 10 from the 32. Play action, Smith flushed out. Tucks it away, will just run it out of bounds. Picks up maybe a yard on the play. Brian Robinson, the 8th-year defensive end, runs him out of bounds. So here's Percy Harvin, drafted 22nd overall by Minnesota back in 09. Spent his first 4 years here and had some very prolific games as a Viking.
Yeah, we said at the top of the game that I think the Jets have to use his motivation. After spending 4 years here with the Minnesota Vikings, you know he's going to come in here wanting to make an impact on today's game. If I'm Marty Morningwig, I'm going to play on that and use it to my advantage.
2nd and 10 from the 32. That spot a dribbler. Geno, the little shovel pass. That's Jeremy Curley trying to make something out of nothing. They dump him down right at the line of scrimmage as Geno tries to gamble that time. And what it could have been an ugly play.
Yeah,
Bad snap by Mangold.
Yeah, Nick Mangold on the snap didn't quite get it back to his quarterback. And, Geno's trying to recover, trying to make a play for his center. And then he was able to flip it upward to Curley. And Nick Mangold, a stellar 9-year pro at that position, normally doing a much better job of executing the snap.
5-time Pro Bowler, 3rd and 10 from the 32. Smith under pressure, sacked. Harrison Smith leading the charge. Big loss for the Jets, and they will punt after a loss of 12.
Number 22, Harrison Smith. When you see him move up in the box, Spiro, that's where you have to be alert. And you got to know it's going to be a free runner to the quarterback. Jeff Cumberland can't block Brian Robinson as well as Harrison Smith to keep him off the quarterback. Good disguise on the blitz by the safety Harrison Smith.
Ryan Quigley to punt it away. Fair catch signaled by Marcus Sherrills. 34-yard punt. Nicely placed by Quigley. Another look at the pick six just moments ago by Gerald Hodges on the first play from scrimmage. Vikings with the early lead.
Checking 2 bags? That'll be $0 extra. Want to change your flight? $0 for that. Live TV? Tack on $0. Because everyone who flies Southwest knows 0 adds up to a lot. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Call for you, Mr. C.
Oh, hello, James.
Hi, Santa. I've been on the nice list for 7 straight years.
And he's only 8.
He's good.
I guess I can throw in another video game then.
You can put that in my new Ford Fusion. I'm sending over the specs.
You want active park assist?
I can't parallel park.
That makes 2 of you.
Oh,
Plus, with great gas mileage, it can get me where I need to go. And I gotta go to the barbershop to get a fresh new lineup.
lineup?
Oh, you know.
Okay, here we go.
Ready?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Everything Apple, all in one place. Expert service, unbeatable price, Best Buy.
Monday, Victoria's Secret models on a new Two Broke Girls. Cue the party.
They are dancing in their underwear. So the guy on the corner does that all the time.
The wait is over.
She's here!
The return of Mike and Molly.
It felt like you were gone for months.
I actually was. Oh, come here.
The season premiere of Mike and Molly after a new Two Broke Girls. CBS Monday.
7-0 Vikings on the pick six by Gerald Hodges. Teddy Bridgewater, I should say, onto the field, the 22-year-old rookie, taken with the 32nd overall pick in last May's NFL draft. Today, this is his 9th career start. Some pre-snap movement. Right side of the line looked like Matt Khalil and Charlie Johnson. Here's our referee, Jerome Boger.
All-star. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Joe Berger, their center. There's a Bridgewater and Sally under pressure to continue to play well. Last week, his best game as a pro. Couple of touchdowns in the win over Carolina, and didn't throw a pick. Really starting to limit those mistakes as a touchdown at the top.
And that was against a 4-3 look. This is going to be a totally different look from Rex Ryan's defense here today. Much more exotic.
Vikings keep it on the ground after the penalty. This is Matt Asiata, the third-year runner out of Utah, running for a couple. Matt Khalil, who has been hampered by a knee injury, that right leg since the start of last season, really hasn't looked like himself, a Pro Bowler as a rookie back in 2012. Charles Johnson starting again at the wide receiver, a young man undrafted out of Grand Valley State who has really started to come on of late. Today making his 3rd consecutive start, has overtaken Cordero Patterson at that ex-wide receiver position. 2nd and 13 from the 8. Bridgewater under pressure. They get to him for the safety. Sheldon Richardson buries Bridgewater, and the Jets defense get them on the board.
This is an area of Rex Ryan's football team that has not disappointed during the 2014 season. You're going to see him right here. He'll come around on the stunt. See him come around, and then that's where Khalil can't recover. Bridgewater doesn't see him in time to get rid of the football. Veteran quarterbacks know you don't get caught holding the football in the end zone. Doesn't get the protection if the Jets net themselves a safety to get 2 points on the board.
The most amazing thing about the Ford Fusion isn't the way it looks. The most amazing thing is the way it sees. With blind spot technology, a lane keeping system, and a standard rear view camera, the Fusion is ready for whatever comes your way. Go prepared. Go further.
She inspires you. No question about that. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Jared the Galleria of Jewelry. And by Ford. Beautiful things happen when you go further.
Mississippi River here on a frigid Sunday afternoon. Sheldon Richardson, the safety, now at 4.5 sacks on the season. Last year, that stellar rookie campaign at NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year as the Jets able to cut the deficit to 5. Jeff Locke to punt it back into play to the Jets. This is John Connor, their fullback, tackled around the ankles just inside that 35-yard line. Sally, take us back to the safety.
Oh, it's a stunt. You can see Babin over on the left side, and here's number 91. He'll come all the way around and watch the left tackle, 75, Matt Khalil. See, he doesn't pass off and come off quick enough to be able to protect from Sheldon Richardson. Keep him off the quarterback. Richardson's very powerful, very explosive coming around that corner.
Now, keep in mind, no Mo Wilkerson today for the Jets. Their anchor on that defensive front that has been so good this season, out the second straight week with turf toe. 1st and 10. Geno Smith keeps it on the ground. This is Chris Ivory. Minimal pickup on that first down play, just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Hodges, who had the pick 6 on the tackle, as Bridgewater and company going over what went down on that safety a moment ago.
Yeah, you know, Bridgewater's got to trust the left tackle Khalil to be able to pick it up. He never saw Richardson, but at least he was able to protect the football.
2nd and 9. Ivory again. Getting close to the 40 as they pick up 4 yards. So all the talk last week about what they did on the ground, 49 runs, Sally, to 13 passes. You don't see that kind of breakdown very often.
Yeah, Rex Ryan said, I never had to apologize for rushing for nearly 300 yards in a game. He felt like he spent the entire week explaining why they ran the ball so much. He said, you know, yeah, our quarterback, he's a talented guy. He does need to improve, but he said that's what you do. You run the ball in November and December to win in the NFL.
Bilal Powell checks into the game, the 4th-year running back on 3rd and 5. Smith again under pressure, able to elude Griffin, throws it up in a dangerous pass. Munnerlyn on the coverage against Curley. Penalty markers come in. Well, Smith just kind of threw it up there, and this one appears to be a pass interference against Munnerlyn.
Pass interference, defense number 24. Spot of the foul, automatic, 1st down.
Munnerlyn, their prize free agent signing in the offseason in terms of that back-end secondary, as we take another look.
See, he just doesn't find the football. He's just hoping and wishing. And we call that playing blind in the secondary. Now, pressure does provide an opportunity to get interception on the back end. Pressure on Geno Smith. He threw that ball up for grabs. Could have easily been intercepted.
Turns out to be a 21-yard penalty. This is Ivory again, getting ahead to the 35. And just to get back to the Jets' game plan of running, given the fact that the Vikings, Sally, have really struggled stopping the run of late, and the Jets' success 2nd in the NFL in rushing the football, no reason to think that plan would change. Maybe not to that discrepancy that we saw last week.
Yeah, as you take a look at Marty Morningwig, they've already thrown it more times than they've run it here today.
2nd and 6, direct snap. This is Power. Vikings weren't fooled. They dump him for a loss. Forward progress may have taken him to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spotted Harrison Smith on the stop. It'll be 3rd and 6.
And that's their 6th rushing attempt so far today. So they're now starting to get the run game going. We talked to Geno Smith about it. He said that Marty Morningwig will meet with the quarterbacks. They script the first 15 plays of the game, and then they'll let that determine what they'll do as the game evolves. But the first 15 are predetermined before they ever arrive to the stadium.
Morningwig's 2nd season as the Jets offensive coordinator. What does he dial up here on 3rd and 6? Smith from the gun, pump fakes, takes a shot near side, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. It's Harvin, 35 yards as Smith finds him in the end zone.
He's working against Josh Robinson to the right side, and Harvin just uses his talent. He uses his speed to get vertical down the field. He's going to go here, and then Geno gives him a chance to make a play. Now, this is an incredible throw by Geno. Underthrows it a little, but look at the adjustment by Percy Harvin. Using his motivation to come back and victimize his former team. Comes up big right there for his quarterback, Geno Smith.
And a long touchdown drought for Percy Harvin ends. First touchdown reception, as we saw, since 2012. Nick Folk dealing with that hip injury this week. Bangs through the point after. Percy Harvin on a 35-yard touchdown catch, and the Jets in front.
Did you know you can use an iPhone 6 to make a call from almost any Apple device?
Really?
Yeah, give me a call on that MacBook.
All right, I'll call you now.
Hello, PS Bistro.
I'd like to make a reservation.
There's nothing available. Goodbye.
Come on, dude, don't hang up on me.
Try again. Call me from the iPad. No, you called me back on the iPad. You think I give you a reservation? You will never get a reservation.
Table for 4.
Never!
Now get 50% off all Domino's pizzas when you order online. 50% off sausage pizzas, handmade pan pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, this week only get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
In every Macy's Star Gift, there's holiday magic. From the Martha Stewart collection, plush quilts lush with warmth, favorite flannel in cozy colors and flattering patterns. Star Gift magic, only at Macy's.
At Jared, I'm known as the perfectionist. To me,
nice
isn't good enough, and
beautiful
is better. But no, it's your engagement, but this is my vow. With up to 10,000 loose diamonds and our amazing settings, I will help you create a one-of-a-kind ring that can only be described as, what's the word I'm looking for?
Perfect.
That's the word, followed by one more.
Yes.
And that's why he went to Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Outwit.
I trust our alliance.
Outplay.
Natalie and I think we should vote John.
Outlast.
That's not happening.
This game is wide open.
Oh, you can vote now for the 2015 Pro Bowl. It's fantasy football for real. Select the best players at every position, regardless of conference, either online or on your mobile device right now at NFL.com/Pro Bowl ballot. Geno Smith throwing the pick six on the first play from scrimmage. Since then, 3 of 3 solid, 80 yards and a 35-yard touchdown to that man, the former Viking Percy Harvin.
Right now, the Jets offense is well balanced. 6 run plays, 6 pass plays. They're showing that they do trust Geno a little bit more here today, even after throwing the pick six on his first pass attempt of the game.
A lot of talk about Harvin, who was acquired, of course, right before that Buffalo game, Week 8. Had that huge game against Kansas City, Sally, in Week 9. The thought was that he would really, give this offense a shot in the arm, but he had been quiet over the last couple of games. Held under 30 yards receiving in 4 of his 5 games with the Jets. And so far today, 2 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown obviously extra motivated coming here against his old team.
Yeah, we said it at the top that if I'm an offense coordinator and I have Percy Harvin coming to play his old team, I'm going to use that motivation to my advantage and allow him opportunities to make plays in the early going of today's game.
Jets have to have it held for Felton. There was a question mark this week. Hurt his hip in that loss to the Dolphins. Missed a couple of field goals last Monday night. And it's Marcus Sherrills getting close to 30. As we take another look, Sally, at the touchdown pass to Harvin.
Yeah, 21, Josh Robinson. See, he doesn't disrupt Percy Harvin's release from the line of scrimmage, and that speed's going to work against them. And then Harvin is able to make an adjustment and come back to the ball. Again, the cornerbacks for the Minnesota Vikings playing blind, and if you defend Percy Harvin like that all day, the numbers he has so far, they're just going to go up. His stock's going to continue to rise as we go deeper into the game.
And here's Bridgewater, who began the season as the number 2 here behind Christian Ponder. Asiata picks up a gain of maybe a yard on first down. Made his first start and debut week 4 against Atlanta, won that game. And then the starter for good a couple of weeks later in week 6, and they've never looked back.
I will tell you this, though. A lot of pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. Remember, he's playing without Adrian Peterson. And all due respect to the other running backs, the defense can really focus on the quarterback.
2nd and 9. A short pass over the middle. This is Asiata, making his 6th start of the season, 6 yards. And that'll set up a 3rd and short. Sally, what an obstacle for this franchise. You know, the story that really took the whole league and the sports world by storm. Peterson getting suspended after that opening game and really forced them to reshuffle the deck. This is 3rd and 3. Short pass near side. That is Greg Jennings for 7 yards. That'll move the chains just inside the 45-yard line.
Yeah, even as we take a look at Jennings make this catch. Even Jennings talked about it when we met with him yesterday, and how much this offense is set back due to the absence of Adrian Peterson. Said one of the best players in the National Football League, and defenses don't have to respect our run game. And he said they are playing us differently. And so it makes it, I think, even more difficult for a rookie quarterback to succeed when the defense can focus on your young quarterback and they don't have to respect the runner in the back.
Bridgewater, poke fakes, under pressure, has his man, it is complete for the touchdown, and it's Charles Johnson. 56 yards, there is a penalty marker on the field. Back at the 31-yard line of the Jets.
Darian Walls was beaten badly by Charles Johnson.
Holding, defense number 22. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Marcus Williams, the rookie corner, the culprit. So the 56-yard touchdown throw to Charles Johnson will stand. His 2nd touchdown reception in what is today his 3rd consecutive start as Minnesota moves back in front. And the chance of Teddy here in Minneapolis. Point after from Walsh is good. So Bridgewater answers after the safety. 56-yard strike to Johnson. 14-9, Vikings in front. Looks like a penalty marker was thrown on the point after.
Over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 75. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Timeout.
That's Khalil, the 3rd-year tackle. 14-9 Minnesota. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
You put in 4 hours before the 9-to-5ers even show up. You don't commute every day, you commute every 15 minutes. And you don't drive to an office, your van is your office. For you, Ford created a new kind of full-size van. The all-new Transit with EcoBoost. Efficient where it counts and built Ford tough. And so customizable, it'll fit any business like a work glove. If your work is harder than most, it just got a lot easier. Learn more at ownthework.com. This is the all-new Ford Transit.
Big news, Anthony. Now you can get special financing on the season's hottest gift, PlayStation 4, when you use your Walmart credit card.
Check this out, sauce. I got 3rd and long. Go, 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 go! Yes, go! Woo!
With next-gen graphics, the gameplay is completely lifelike.
Waterboard! Water me! Water me out, man! Doing good. That's enough. All right. Okay, come on down. Okay, go, 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 go!
Maybe too lifelike.
Touchdown!
And now get special financing when you use your Walmart credit card. More ways to Christmas joy. Walmart.
Don't settle for 4G LTE coverage that's smaller or less reliable when only one network is America's largest and most reliable 4G LTE network, Verizon. With XLTE, our 4G LTE bandwidth has doubled in over 400 cities. And now, save without settling. Get 2 lines with 10 gigabytes of data for just $110. Or 4 lines for just $140. And get a $150 bill credit for each smartphone you switch. Only on Verizon.
Don't miss NCIS Los Angeles, CBS Monday at 10/9 Central.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon XLTE on America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
"56-yard touchdown pass. Bridgewater to Charles Johnson, the second-year wideout out of Grand Valley State. The longest pass completion of the season. 14-9. Vikings back in front just past the 6-minute mark of his first quarter. Harvin muffs the kick. He's going to make something out of nothing here. Crosses the 40 inside Vikings territory. Harvin's so dangerous. Just when you thought the play was dead in the water. Electrifying return by Harvin of 47 yards to give Geno Smith the short field. Solly, what happened on that last touchdown pass by Bridgewater?
Well, it's Charles Johnson just really taking this one down the field, but take a look at the throw from Bridgewater. This is the big-time arm, and the reason why he was drafted at the bottom of the first round. Good protection, then he steps up after the double move by Johnson. Look how he led him away from the defender. That's a big-time throw by the rookie quarterback, and hit him the double move. That's how he set up Darren Walls to beat him. He gets open. Bridgewater does the rest.
This is Chris Johnson on his first run of the day. Picks up a couple. Clock continues to run with 5:34 to play in this first quarter. This was supposed to be a breakout season for Cordero Patterson, the Vikings' second-year receiver, but it has been Charles Johnson, at least over the last couple of weeks. It has been Norv Turner's favorite receiver in this Minnesota offense. 2nd and 8 from just inside the 35. Smith has time over the middle. This is Decker, the former Golden Gopher. Nifty little cutback maneuver to get ahead to the 25. Pickup of 8 yards. And a Jet first down. Thursday, Larry Fitzgerald and the first-place Cardinals will take on the Rams as the playoff chase heats up. Thursday night football, Thursday at 8 Eastern, live on NFL Network. Well, Decker came over from Denver, signed that big deal during the offseason, hampered by the hamstring pull that he tweaked originally in camp. Just now starting to get close to full strength. But it has been a frustrating season, to say the least, for Decker. Johnson again. Forward momentum gives him about 3, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 7.
Right now, the offense is as scripted. Marty Morningwig, very balanced with this offense. They come in with the first 15 plays scripted, 8 run plays, 7 pass plays. That's the menu for today, and then the success is going to dictate what they do the rest of the game. So you like the fact that they did put together a more balanced approach, and Geno Smith is playing well in the early going if you take away that early interception.
This is Johnson straight ahead, ducks inside the 20, close to the 17-yard line. Johnson, unless he has a huge rushing yards over the last couple of weeks. Sally, it'll be the first season of his career, 7 years in the league, where he will not rush for 1,000 yards. And they just never quite figured out how to utilize him in a year that has been so up and down offensively.
Well, I think it's been about, you know, a committee. And, you know, if you look at Chris Ivory, the way that he runs, I think even Mike Zimmer said he runs angry. So they do have a good committee of running backs.
3rd and short, little pitch play. This is Harbin. May have gotten to the line of scrimmage, brought down by a host of Viking defenders, and it will be 4th and 2.
Remember, they ran the ball with some of the reverse action in the Monday night game against the Dolphins. 277 rush yards in that game. Very impressive. And I think it's really predicated on the strength of their offensive line. This is a really good run blocking offensive line. I would run it even more here today, given the fact that the Vikings run defense has not been stellar all season long.
36-yard attempt from Felton, missed a couple of field goals, and it could very well have cost the Jets the game Monday night against Miami. Playing today with that hip flexor injury, and Falk able to bang it in from 36 yards out. Plenty of scoring already, 14-12. Jets cut it to 2 on CBS.
It was the night before, as the people of this little Belgian town waited for the crowning moment. Nature had other plans. With the help of the masters of the Artois Brewery, a new star was born. Stella Artois, originally brewed as a beautiful holiday gift for the people of loving Belgium.
Hey, look, it's the State Farm guy. You pumped up our wallets with the discount double checking, so we want to pump you out.
Sorry, what?
Pull us, you flapping loser! You'll thank us later.
Pump up your savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
We're making memories today. Come on, everybody say, fa la 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 la.
Introducing Amazon Fire TV Stick, the simplest way to stream all the entertainment you love on your big screen. Pop it in, grab the remote, and explore 200,000 movies and TV episodes from Netflix, Amazon Instant Video, Hulu Plus, and more. And Amazon Prime members can access thousands of titles at no extra cost. Introducing Amazon Fire TV Stick, the newest member of the Amazon Fire TV family, starting at only $39.
It's the Victoria's Secret fashion show from London with musical performances by Grammy nominees Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Ariana Grande, Hosier, and the most beautiful women in the world. The Victoria's Secret fashion show, CBS Tuesday.
You are watching the NFL on CBS.
Jets had the short field, their drive stalls, but Nick Folk able to salvage 3 points with the 36-yard field goal to cut it to 2. Having all kinds of issues keeping that ball on a tee here with the wind whipping through TCF Bank Stadium here on the campus of the University of Minnesota. This is the first time that the Vikings are playing their home games outdoors since 1981. Their new downtown stadium under construction, 20 months away from opening. So wind has been a huge factor in their home games here all season long. A little pooch kick out of bounds. This is Asiata fielding it. Gets to the 40. Stumbles ahead to the 41, maybe 42. A dozen yards on the return. Zach Sudfeld able to make the tackle. Saturday, it's the only game that stands alone. All guts, all grit, all glory. Army-Navy. The hoopla begins with college football today. Special bonus coverage on CBS Sports Network beginning at noon Eastern. The 115th edition of that iconic rivalry. Army has not won since 2001. 12 straight wins for the midshipmen in that series. And today, of course, the 73rd year anniversary of Pearl Harbor Day. As remembrances all across the country. Jarius Wright, third-year receiver out of Arkansas, with a 4-yard reception. Marcus Williams, Sally on the tackle.
Well, you saw the quick throw from Teddy Bridgewater. That's the effect that Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, has really had on him. He said that Norv wants him to make quick decisions, get the ball out quickly with great accuracy.
2nd and 6, draw play. This is Asiata, making his 6th start of the season. Returned last week after missing their Week 12 game with a concussion. Sal, you talk about it all the time. When it comes time to get drafted for young quarterbacks, it's not where you go, it's where you end up. And hard to think there was a better spot for Bridgewater having a chance to be impacted by Norv Turner.
I think he has a chance to have an excellent career, given the fact that that man there, Norv Turner, is grooming him and teaching him. This is the guy that groomed the likes of Troy Aikman, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Alex Smith for a short stint in San Francisco. Everywhere he's gone, when he has had time to work with the quarterback, they have emerged as a significant player in the National Football League.
Bridgewater on 3rd and 2 has time again over the middle. 1st down and more. Jennings again inside Jets territory. Down to the 44-yard line after a pickup of 7. And one thing that Mike Zimmer told us, Norv was really the perfect guy for this job. It's allowed Zimmer to focus on what he does with this defense.
That's right. He said he could go to Norv Turner with anything. He said he's been a head coach at 3 different stops. And Mike Zimmer leans heavily on Norv Turner to run the offense, and Zim focuses on the defense. I think it's a great marriage.
1st and 10, they mark it from the 44 to keep it on the ground. This is Asiata. Really clothesline to the turf. Tough runner is this kid Asiata, their 3rd-year running back. Picks up 8 hard-fought yards. Duzable and Richardson on the tackle. As that should take us to the end of the 1st quarter here in Minneapolis. Vikings postseason hopes hanging on by a thread at 5 and 7. As Bridgewater may try to run one more play, or will he? And that will do it. Well, Bridgewater, 5 for 5, 80 yards and a long touchdown strike. He and the Vikings lead the Jets at the end of the 1st. We'll return to Minneapolis after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Hold for the picture.
At Intel, they have technology that can scan you in 3D. Here's my good side. Here's my other good side.
Can you just stand still?
Intel. This is where it all changes.
I've always loved exploring and looking for something better. That's the way I look at life, especially now that I live with a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. I was taking warfarin, but I wondered if I kept digging, could I come up with something better? My doctor told me about Eliquis for 3 important reasons. 1, in a clinical trial, Eliquis was proven to reduce the risk of stroke better than warfarin. 2, Eliquis had less major bleeding than warfarin. And 3, unlike warfarin, there's no routine blood testing.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Those 3 important reasons are why Eliquis is a better find for me.
Ask your doctor today if Eliquis is right for you.
Tonight, there's a method to the mentalist madness.
Patrick Jane, FBI.
You walked out here by yourself? A new mentalist. Then, how do you solve a murder when every witness is a killer?
We have 1 victim and 2,000 suspects.
A new CSI after a new mentalist CBS tonight.
14-12, Minnesota leading the Jets here. Spiro Dita, Solomon Wilcox, our producer Vic Frank, Chris Fenson, our director, rest of our CBS crew. 2nd and 2 for Teddy Bridgewater, and the Vikings just outside the Jets' 36. Asiata off tackle, keeping those legs churning inside the 30. 1st down run of 7 as Minnesota able to move the chains. Geno Smith able to recover solidly after that pick six to Hodges on the first play from scrimmage. Pretty good performance by both men.
Two young quarterbacks, a second-year pro and Geno Smith, the rookie, Teddy Bridgewater. Geno Smith, he's gotten off to a bumpy start early in his career. Teddy Bridgewater is now starting to see the light. The game is beginning to slow down for him, as evident of a good game he had 1 week ago.
A trickery. This is Patterson. His first touch cuts inside the 25 and ahead to the 23 with a pickup of 6. We head to New York for our first update of the day with JB.
An important matchup indeed, Bill.
Yeah, AFC North, Sully. Here's Heath Miller off the play action, 1 yard from Ben Roethlisberger. And Pittsburgh takes the early lead 7-0 in the second.
Spiro and Solly.
A lot of eyes on that game and what has been a brutal battle in the AFC North all season. Cincinnati hanging on by the skin of their teeth atop that division. 7th play of the drive for Bridgewater and company. 2nd and 4 from the 23. Bridgewater, pocket collapses, hit as he throws, has his man wide open. Johnson. Football comes loose. No signal yet. Now they say touchdown. 23 yards as Minnesota able to recover, and they build on their lead now at 20-12.
Wow, this is going to be Charles Johnson. Watch, he comes in, and then he comes all the way back out across the field. They lose sight of Johnson, but Teddy Bridgewater doesn't. And look, he fumbled before crossing the goal line, but then he recovers it. Look at that. It's going to be recovered by Jerome Felton for the touchdown. That ball was out before he crossed the goal line. Right after that hit by Jarrett, and then there you can see it's going to be recovered by Felton. Touchdown Vikings. What an interesting play. Teddy Bridgewater even took a hit. There was tremendous pressure on the quarterback as he was able to get rid of that ball just before he took a whack by one of the defenders from the Jets.
Call is confirmed up by the replay people here in Minneapolis. Walsh's point after is good. First touchdown of the season for Felton. And the Vikings up in front of the Jets, 21-12 on CBS.
How can power consumption in China impact wool exports from New Zealand, textile production in Spain, and the use of medical technology in the U.S.? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 70% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
I'm so on top of the holidays this year.
Really? Where's all your stuff?
You're looking at it. The HP Stream. Love this thing.
Hey, nice antlers. You got all your photos?
Yeah, has tons of cloud storage. And OneNote to sync lists straight from my phone.
I've got lists and lists.
And it was under $200. Even made my holiday card.
So I guess you can make my holiday card. It's worth a shot.
Office 365 plus 1 terabyte of cloud storage free for 1 year.
Take a deep breath in and exhale. And a gentle wave-like motion. Liberate your spine. Good. And reach. Toes blossoming.
Not that great at yoga.
Yeah, but when I slipped a disc, he paid my claim in just 4 days.
4 days?
Yep.
See why speed matters at Aflac.com.
New this Wednesday.
One wrong move could result in more deaths.
Doesn't mean I love you.
New Criminal Minds. Then.
Stalking would be his way to make you a prisoner. I need to know why.
New Stalker after a New Criminal Minds. CBS Wednesday.
7 plays, 58 yards. It counts as a catch by Charles Johnson, a fumble, and a recovery for a touchdown in the end zone by Jerome Felton, their fullback. Now, we should point out, if that play had happened inside of 2 minutes of the first half, they would have marked it solidly at the 1 because of the fact that, of course, you can't advance the football on a fumble.
Not for a touchdown. Anyway, yeah, you can't advance it in under 2 minutes goes all the way back to, remember the Oakland Raiders, John Madden's Raiders against the San Diego Chargers, that play known as the Holy Roller. Dave Casper dribbling inside the end zone to fall on it for a touchdown.
Well, it's been a wild first half, hasn't it? We've had a safety, we've had a pick six, 2 long touchdown passes, and a recovered fumble for a touchdown a moment ago by Felton as Harvin crosses the 20 after a return of 22 yards. I'll get the fastest football scores and updates with the CBS Sports app, the fastest app for sports fans. Download it right now, the CBS Sports app. Temperatures in the mid-20s today when you factor in the wind chill. TCF Bank Stadium on the campus of the University of Minnesota, where the Vikings are playing their home games until that downtown stadium is complete. About 20 months from where we stand right now. 1st and 10, Smith flushed out of the pocket. Won't take any chances, throws it out of bounds. Chased by Robinson. Back to New York in an update with JB.
Andy Dalton looking for consistency.
Yeah, after Pittsburgh score, Andy Dalton 3 for 3, 75 yards on the drive. This 10-yard one that Jermaine Grisham ties the game 7-7 in the second.
Spiro Didi, Solomon Wilcots.
Sorry, who's taking that division?
I tell you what, we won't know till the final week.
That's what it looks like. Here's Ivory. On 2nd and 10, barely picks up a yard, maybe 2, as they were spotted close to the 22-yard line. So 3rd and 8. We'll see what Marty Mornhinweg elects to do here. Ivory Sally's been one of the few bright spots with this team, approaching 700 yards on the ground. A 50-year product out of Tiffin University in Ohio. Powell the lone setback on 3rd and 8. Curley in motion. Jets able to pick up the blitz nicely. Decker on the catch. First down if it stands. Penalty marker on the field. Closer to the line of scrimmage. It's a 14-yard reception by Decker. And now we wait the call from our referee today, Jerome Boger.
Holding, defense number 52. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
That's Chad Greenway, a longtime staple at outside linebacker on the penalty.
Well, they leave Decker wide open over on the boundary. An excellent pickup on the block by Bilal Powell against the blitzing linebacker. He allowed Geno Smith to get that ball loose, and Geno did a good job of recognizing the coverage, reading, and finding the open man.
The Jets line up Harvin in the backfield right next to Smith on 1st and 10. Draw play. This is Harvin dancing his way across the 40 after a pickup of 5. Another penalty marker on the field. Griffin on the tackle.
Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
It's Willie Colon. Solly wild first half. We had the pick 6 on the first play from scrimmage by Hodges. And the fireworks ensued from there.
Yeah, things are happening. Sheldon Richardson gets in on the act, providing the safety on the sack for Teddy Bridgewater. And then Charles Johnson's going in for a touchdown, but then he's hit. Ball is fumbled, recovered by Felton for a touchdown. And this is what we've had today for our scoring summary. We've had some of everything. It's like gumbo. We got it all.
All we need, I guess, is a rushing touchdown, and we'll be hitting for the cycle. Jets whistled for their first penalty a moment ago. We'll see who came across first here. It looked like Griffin, but was he drawn off sides by the Jets?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You see Griffin right. You see the movement, 97 right there. Before DeBrickashaw Ferguson moved, Griffin was well into that neutral zone.
What a season it's been for Griffin, playing in the shadow of Jared Allen the last 4 years. Gave him that monster extension during the offseason. And he is second in the NFC with his career-high 11 sacks. Smith on 1st and 15 finds his man. That's Harvin again. It has been a busy first half. Harvin was never touched, and that second effort able to get the first down and more for the Jets.
Yeah, you know, it's about sense of urgency. Watch Harvin. He's going to catch it, going to fall down. You get the sense that Wilson sort of lets up right here. But Harvin's going to get up and then pick up the first down. Look, before he's touched, he's already off the ground and powering forward for the first down. What did Harrison Smith tell us? He said he was one heck of a teammate. He's got the mindset of a defensive player. He's tough.
And Smith said Percy's his favorite player to watch. Obviously a different story today. This is Ivory. Again, unable to get to the edge. The football comes loose. Looks like it was after contact with the turf. Another penalty marker on the field right at the line of scrimmage. At the 50.
Holding, offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
That's the tight end, Jeff Cumberland. Sal, you can hear the wind whipping down.
That's right.
On the field. Major concern for both of these offenses.
I think it shows you the arm strength of both quarterbacks. They've been able to drive the ball downfield in this win. We've seen a long throw from Bridgewater. We've also seen Geno Smith drive the ball with great accuracy in this win.
The Jets no strangers to playing in swirling winds at MetLife Stadium. Of course, the old Giant Stadium in East Rutherford. Notorious for those unpredictable winds over the years. 1st and 20 after the penalty. Ivory and Johnson in the backfield with Smith. Smith steps up, strikes and hits Curley on a crossing pattern. 18 yards close to the first down inside Minnesota territory.
I gotta tell you, I'm impressed with some of the throws that I'm seeing from Geno Smith. Watch this throw as Curley comes over the middle. He waits for him to clear the linebacker, then right in that window. Look, that ball's thrown with great accuracy, what we call ball placement, where the runner Curley can continue to create yards after the catch. Excellent throw with great accuracy and even better timing.
Geno at the moment 7 of 9, 136 yards, the touchdown and the early interception. Smith 2nd and 3, thrown far side, incomplete. Chris Owusu had it, and now they say he caught the football.
Oh, he did. He should have caught it.
It is a completed pass. What concentration by the second-year man out of Stanford.
Look, ball would land right in his lap is what happened. He was pried loose. Now, he should have had it at first attempt, but watch the ball. Falls right in his lap. Great concentration to stay with it. And again, another good throw from Geno Smith.
1st and 10. Jets keep it on the ground. This is Johnson. Lunges ahead, needed to get to the 28 to move the chains. That's a 7-yard run as the clock continues to run now. Coming up on 9 minutes.
See the pass distribution, none to the backs, none to the tight ends, all 10 to wide receivers. That means they're going outside with the ball with Geno. What did Geno tell us? He said this is the same exact defense we saw 1 week ago against the Miami Dolphins. And he's right, because Kevin Coyle had coached in Cincinnati with Mike Zimmer, so he's getting a very familiar look. I think it's lending to his success.
2nd and 3, this is Johnson again. Close to that first down. For the Jets, he picks up 3, tackled by Greenway, and it is enough to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Jets.
We talk about getting a look at the defense. Geno was very clear when we spoke with him last night. Said he wasn't offended by the fact that they only allowed him to attempt 13 passes last week. He said each week the coaches address, they tell us what they expect from us. He felt like he would have an opportunity to prove himself here today, and right now he's doing a good job of it.
Inside the 20, still going. All the way down to the 12-yard line. Jasper Brinkley, the 6th-year linebacker, finally able to get to him, but not before Ivory picks up 16 and a first down.
He's going to come around and watch when he gets to the second level. To me, the best running backs makes defenders miss in space. Watch Harrison Smith, 22. can't get him down. And Harrison Smith is a really good safety in the National Football League. Chris Ivory is able to make quality defensive backs miss in space.
Longest run of the day for the Jets. 10 play of the drive, 1st and 10 from the 12. Ivory trying to find the edge inside the 10 and forced out inside the 5. What a run by Ivory. Blanton, the safety, bangs him out. What did Mike Zimmer tell us yesterday? This kid, Chris Ivory, runs mad. And that's what we've seen these last couple of plays.
He also told us that his defense is not doing a good job of tackling. Look, they can't get him on the ground. He's made defenders miss on 2 consecutive plays. And so this is the area that concerned Mike Zimmer the most about his defense. Last week they gave up 170+ yards rushing to the Carolina Panthers. And right now, the Jets are getting it cranked up, mixing it up, run and pass to move the ball on this drive.
Have to be impressed with Geno Smith marching him down the field. 11th play of the drive. Football comes loose. Who has it? Minnesota does.
Captain Munnerlyn, 24, looked like he was the guy to recover it. Huge play. Chris Ivory, good running, but more than anything, you have to protect the football. As he approaches the line of scrimmage, going to the goal line, ball punched out, recovered by the Vikings. Turning back the New York Jets as they're knocking on the door.
A.J. Green, he's just like you, except he's in a commercial. Got hands like glue and just bought a 10,000-gallon saltwater fish tank. Otherwise, he do what you do. Drives to work, listens to his music, gets caught up in a wire-based headphone situation. I know you've seen that. So like you, he went and did something about it. Now he walks into work like a boss. Like who? You. There you go, AJ. Exclusive at Verizon.
The clock is ticking, so let's grab the list and go to town. You don't need a lot of this to make someone feel like that, especially if you give them one of these. Holiday to-dos? Let's get them done today at the one place that can help us bring it all home. That's How to Holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Buy a combo kit and get up to $150 toward any cordless power tool, radio, or battery.
The Volkswagen Golf was just named Motor Trend's 2015 Car of the Year. So was the 100% electric e-Golf and the 45 Highway MPG TDI Clean Diesel. And last but not least, the high-performance GTI. Looks like we're gonna need a bigger podium. The Volkswagen Golf family, Motor Trend's 2015 Cars of the Year.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. PlayStation 4. Greatness awaits. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer.
Second turnover by the Jets, a drive that appeared to be headed in for the touchdown. And Sally, what a play by Andrew Sindeo, the undrafted 4th-year safety, stripping Ivory. And Minnesota takes the football back.
Yeah, as he's knocking on the door inside of the 5-yard line. Wow.
Jets had an 11-play drive that had covered 76 yards. You won't see a better defensive play than this, as Ivory unable to cover up the football.
Yeah, he's got to be able to protect the football there. See, it's in one hand. You go into traffic in the National Football League, defenders are good enough to not only tackle you, but strip the ball simultaneously. And that's what Sindeo does. You can see much to the dismay of the quarterback, Geno Smith.
Ivory looks so impressive on that drive. 2nd and 9, Bridgewater, they give to Asiata. Across the 5. As he picks up about 3 yards. And Sally, that's really the kind of season it's been for the Jets. So much frustration, calamitous from so many directions.
But those are the things you see. Some of the unseen things is the way you come back from failure. And Rex Ryan talks about it, and all the players talk about it. The ability to overcome moments, disappointing moments like that. You can't allow it to crescendo into something that's much worse as the game goes on.
Play clock down to 1. This is 3rd and 6. Bridgewater, quick strike over the middle. Johnson on a crossing route. Crosses the 15. First down through the air. Johnson, who fumbled what would have been a second touchdown reception earlier. 7 yards for a Vikings first down.
See, he wins at the line of scrimmage. Phillip Adams can't prevent him from getting across his face on the quick slant. And you got to give Teddy Bridgewater a lot of credit. He knows where to go with the ball, and he's getting it out quickly with great accuracy, something that's been demanded of him by the coordinator, Norv Turner.
Joe Banier, the second-year running back out of Texas, El Paso, onto the field for the first time. 1st and 10 from the 17.
Look at Bridgewater. Bridgewater working the play at the line of scrimmage.
Throw near side for Johnson is incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tomorrow on CBS, fast cars, a star basketball player, military school cadets, and a serial killer have something in common. Find out what on a mysterious new episode of NCIS Los Angeles. Tomorrow, 10/9 Central, only CBS. First incompletion by Bridgewater today. 7 of 8, buck 10, and the touchdown. As he is faced with a 2nd and 10 from the 17.
Well, they said he's become more vocal.
Here's Banier, only his 8th carry of the season. Crosses the 25, takes on a hard hit there after a strong run of 9 yards. So here's Charles Johnson, Sally, making his 3rd straight start. A guy who has come out of nowhere. Cleveland had him stashed on their practice squad last year, became familiar with Norv Turner, former 7th-round pick of the Packers, and this kid has overtaken Cordero Patterson, who was supposed to be a breakout guy in year 2.
Yeah, Johnson began training camp with the Cleveland Browns. It was one of their final cuts. Norv Turner plucked him up, and now he's inserted into the starting lineup and paying huge dividends here today.
3rd and short, Asiata trying to pick up that tough yard for the first down. No signal yet. I don't think he got there. And it will be 4th down with the clock continuing to run at 4:29.
Watch David Harris. Watch number 52 come up and stuff this run play. Look at that. Getting underneath the lineman, Johnson, still able to stuff it. Now, he is one of the better inside linebackers. I love this front 7 on this defense for the New York Jets. And they're not far. I know the win-loss record looks one way, but there are some areas of deficiency on the roster, but not in that front 7 between the defensive linemen and the linebackers.
Now, Harris has been so steady for this team. Will be a free agent at season's end. Speculation about his Jets' future. This is Curley backpedaling, fielding from inside the 25, runs it out of bounds. And that's where Geno Smith will have it. 51-yard punt, 13 on the return. 21-12 Vikings. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The Le'Veon family have been masters of jewelry design for centuries. This Le'Veon collection is amazing.
Maybe it's time to start your own.
Kay presents today's Le'Veon with exclusive Le'Veon chocolate diamonds.
Every kiss begins with K.
Oh, steer clear of Kristen. She can't control herself around chocolate. She'll devour you.
Really?
Yeah, thanks for introducing us.
Anything for a friend.
Ooh, strong grip. Ow!
What you got? What you got? I got Kevin Durant. That's KD, all right? Shall we?
Let's do this.
PlayStation.
They've had some classic interviews.
Okay, Rob, when you're ready.
Oh, you barely look different. Thanks, man. But their next assignment
Kim Jong-un wants to do an interview with Dave Skylark?
He's a fan. Could make history.
The CIA want you to take him out.
Like for drinks?
No, take him out.
You want us to kill the leader of North Korea?
What? You will shake Kim's hand with a dose of poison. It's critical. Touch nothing.
I sat on it.
The interview, rated R.
We spent the holidays together as a Vikings family until the kids went to school, made new friends, and got married. Now we're a Vikings, Eagles, Bengals, Cowboys, Steelers family. NFL Shop, jerseys, gear, and gifts for the whole entire family.
Coming up, the Verizon halftime report will send you to the guys in New York, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. All the latest scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football coming up on NFL Network. All next on the Verizon halftime report. Chris Johnson bounces to the outside. Nice run on first down. Blanton forces him out of bounds. You knew Percy Harvin, Sally, would be motivated coming back to where his career all began, and we have seen him do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, whether it's returning kicks or catching the ball down the field, he knows how to attack the football. He knows how to make plays once you get the ball in his hands. And if I'm Marty Morningwig, if I'm the special teams coach, I'm going to give him plenty of work today against his former team.
22nd overall pick back in 09 of the Vikings. As a rookie alongside Brett Favre. And what a first half he has had. Johnson picks up a couple, tackled by Brinkley. Certainly the most impactful game that Favre has had in weeks since that big one he had in Kansas City back in week 9.
What you love about him, and I think it was a good fit for the Jets, is he knows the offense. Played in this offense when he was with the Vikings under Darrell Bevell. Played in this offense when he was in Seattle.
Johnson making Powell takes a direct snap. This is Harvin finding the edge, has the first down and more. Morningwig dusting off some of these plays and a little bit more creative, Sally, than what we saw last week. Tackled by Smith, 4 yards for the first down.
Coming around from the right side. Powell just pitches it over to Harvin. Harvin normally can break these kind of tackles. He's not your normal receiver. He can play running back, he can play receiver, but he's going to run hard and force you to make the secure tackle in space.
11 first downs for a Jet offense that has had all kinds of issues this season. First and 10 pass, incomplete.
All right, this
Hodges leveling Cumberland. It'll be 2nd and 10, and boy, you feel that a little bit more on a day like today with temperatures below freezing.
Hodges is making plays. Remember, he's in the lineup replacing the first-round pick Anthony Barr. He's already made his presence felt. First pass of the game, had the pick 6, and now defending the pass down the field. So he's good in space, shows you he can defend the passing game, and he's been really good in and around the line of scrimmage.
Draw play, this is Ivory. Inside Vikings territory, down to the 49, maybe 48. 5-yard on the run as Hodges makes the tackle. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. Jets down 9. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
USS Washington, package en route.
Roger that. Let's take positions, Landisburg.
There's halftime, and then there's a Pepsi halftime, which is why we brought the magic of halftime to Corpus Christi, Texas, exactly halfway across the United States, as a thank you to a few thousand military veterans, their families, and those who support them. There's no telling where the magic of halftime will happen next, but it just might be in your own backyard.
Hey! I guess we're gonna need a new Santa.
More people are coming to Audi than ever before. See why now is the best time. Audi will cover your first month's payment on select models at the Season of Audi sales event. Visit AudiOffers.com today.
Thursday Night Football lives on NFL Network. The playoff chase heats up a primetime showdown.
They ain't gonna give it to us. We gotta go take it.
Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals are out to show this is their year.
Streaking to the end zone.
But the Rams are determined to play division spoilers. The run to the playoffs is on NFL Network.
Go Dom!
Cardinals.
To the end zone.
Rams.
And it's caught for a touchdown.
Thursday Night Football. Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Live on NFL Network.
Only CBS has the #1 drama, the #1 comedy, the #1 news program, and the #1 news show. Happy holidays, and thank you for making CBS America's most watched network.
Another reminder, the Verizon halftime report coming up next. Guys standing by in New York. JB and the fellas take you around the league, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on the Verizon halftime report next. 2 minutes left. Jets with all 3 timeouts. Critical 3rd and 5 from just inside the Minnesota 49. Jets 4 of 6 on 3rd downs today. Smith from the gun takes a shot over the middle. It's incomplete. Curley asking for a flag. There is one thrown on the near side of the field. Munnerlyn on the coverage.
There was contact beyond 5 yards, and I think it was initiated by the defender.
2 penalty markers on the field. 1 near side, 1 far sideline. Our referee today, if you've just joined us, is Jerome Boger.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Holding, defense, number 29, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 24. Spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
So the call against Munnerlyn is the one that Rex Ryan will accept.
Right in the slot against Curley, right here. See, at the top of the route, see him grab the jersey? And this is the point of emphasis that we heard so much about in training camp, preseason, and officials are all over it, as Munnerlyn did grab cloth and did impede the progress of Curley to be able to make a catch on the ball.
Turns out to be a 14-yard penalty. Sets up a 1st and 10 for the Jets from the 34. Geno Smith, 8 of 11, buck 43, a touchdown and a pick. What a play by Smith, escaping what would have been a sack. Picks up 7. Appeared to be headed down. Tom Johnson, Sally, had him wrapped up, and somehow Smith gets away from him.
Oh, he's doing a really good job right now. Under 2 minutes, moving the offense. He is in complete control right now.
2nd and 3, draw play, Johnson. Able to get to the 25. Sally, what is Morning we're trying to do here, attacking this defense with all 3 timeouts?
I think he has an advantage, particularly on the outside with Curley. We've seen Percy Harvin be able to shake loose. I think they're winning the one-on-one matchup advantages, but their ability to run the ball has afforded them to have the one-on-one matchup. As long as they can protect Geno, he appears to be in good rhythm, making good decisions with the football.
8th play of the drive. This is Ivory, who had to fumble earlier on a drive that appeared to be going in for a touchdown. 6 yards and a 1st down run for Ivory, as Rex Ryan will burn his first timeout. Jets down 9 on CBS.
Introducing the Kelley Blue Book Price Advisor, the powerful tool that shows you what you should pay. It gives you a fair purchase price that's based on what others recently paid for the same new car and Kelley Blue Book's trusted pricing expertise. KBB.com.
Walmart Savings Catcher saves on my holiday groceries.
You just scan your Walmart receipt, and if there's a lower advertised price at a top store in your area, Walmart will give you the difference on an e-gift card. Are these all for Santa?
Yep. Wasn't sure what kind he likes.
Join the millions who are saving with Walmart's Savings Catcher.
Monday, Dave's all new with Joaquin Phoenix. Then Tuesday, catch Ben Stiller. And later this week, Chris Rock, Sting, Jamie Foxx, and Meryl Streep.
You may cease your drudgery.
Holmes & Watson have a new recipe for murder. Start with 1 victim.
2, actually.
Plus 1 suspect.
I suppose congratulations are in order.
And to spice things up, just add
nutmeg. Nutmeg.
You really expect to smell nutmeg?
I expect nothing, which is why I'm such an exceptional detective.
New Elementary, CBS this Thursday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart, where you'll find unbeatable prices on this year's top gifts. And by Kelley Blue Book. Find out what you should pay for your next new car at KBB.com.
Little Sunday afternoon pickup football. Some pretty good quarterbacking.
Well, he just threw a pick.
Well, the first two were good. First and 10, 53 seconds left. Smith hit on the release, just barely able to get rid of the football. Griffin was there. Crowd wants the penalty. Gino within the tackle box, of course, at that point.
Wow. Everson Griffin beating DeBrickshaw Ferguson. Now, remember, he's in the pocket. He's got to get the ball at least back to the line of scrimmage for that to not be intentional grounding. Now we're saying that there is a flag down. He was in the tackle box, so you can't just spike the ball there.
The Vikings have just told us that Sharif Floyd is questionable to return a knee injury that he aggravated last week.
For the player being ineligibly downfield. Second down.
There was a running back in the area, but they're saying the flag is going to be thrown in. Ineligible man downfield. One of the offensive linemen had took off downfield on that intended screen play. It took off prematurely.
Well, the turnovers aside, almost everything Morningweg has dialed up has worked for the Jets. What does he elect to do here on the 10th play of the drive? 2nd and 10 from the 19. Jets with 2 timeouts left, 50 seconds in the second play. Smith has time over the middle, dumps it off to Ivory. Wrapped up at the 15-yard line by Brinkley. They pick up 4. Jets will burn their 2nd timeout. Takes us down to the 40-second mark on CBS.
People can't get enough of our inflatables, so that's why we're using FedEx One Rate. We can fill a pack with our hottest sellers and ship it for a flat rate. Sounds good.
Cool.
Great.
That's great.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get maintenance.
Hey, Ralph.
Ship a pack via FedEx Express Saver for as low as $7.50.
Pivotal 3rd and 6th play. Solly, what do you look for here?
Well, because they've run the ball so well, they're getting a lot of one-on-one opportunities. Now this I formation, they're either going to pound the run game or go play action, take a shot outside to one of the receivers.
Gino's going to throw it, or at least attempt to. Escapes one man and finally dragged down from the back. It's Everson Griffin.
Well, we said they're getting a lot of one-on-one looks. More than anything, they've got to protect, and they couldn't protect from Everson Griffin. Now, look, he's going to look everywhere. He wanted to come out here down at the bottom of the screen to Eric Decker. So there's your play action. Protection doesn't hold up, but see, he wanted to come down to his left. He's forced to eat it and then try to run for it. The protection has to be able to hold up against these one-on-one looks that Geno Smith is getting. Doing a really good job of reading the defense that we saw on this drive. Twice he's been hit by Everson Griffin.
Mike Zimmer is going to burn his first time out as Griffin now able to build on his career-high 12th sack of the season. Able to get Geno Smith right behind the line of scrimmage. Here's Nick Folk, hit from 36 yards earlier. Jets actually worked out free agent kicker Andrew Fernie this week after Folk was complaining of that hip injury in their Monday night game against Miami. Folk from 33 yards out. Pardon the snapper. Folk barely able to get the kick off, and it is good. So the Jets cut it to 6. Rex Ryan looking on, 17 seconds left. Solly, you look at Geno Smith's numbers, 9 of 13. We asked how he would respond after throwing the pick 6 on the very first play from scrimmage. How impressed have you been with Geno?
Well, he's shaking it off. He really has. He shook it off, and now he's starting to make plays. And what's happening is he's doing a better job of reading the defense. You can tell the game is slowing down. He knows where he wants to go with the football. Now the Jets offensive line have to do a better job of protecting him. When he's had the protection, the wide receivers have shown they can get open against man coverage against these corners. And so Geno's doing a good job. I think the offensive line got to do a better job of providing protection. And Marty Morningwig is giving him a running game. We've got a good balanced attack today on offense from the New York Jets.
Well, the Jets staring down the barrel of a fourth consecutive season with no playoffs, double-digit losses for the second time in 3 years. But for Geno Smith, so much still to play for. As this front office and staff evaluate where he is after 3 weeks of watching Michael Vick on the Jets sideline. With a rolling kick by Felton. Vikings cross the 40. Jets are going to give the Vikings, Sally, pretty good field position. They do have 2 timeouts left. 12 seconds remaining.
You know what that means, right? They're afraid to kick it to Percy Harvin. They'd rather give him the field position there as opposed to kick it deep to Percy. Not so sure I agree with that.
Here comes Bridgewater back on the field. 2 timeouts left. Bridgewater so far 7 of 8, buck 10 and a touchdown. 56-yard strike to Charles Johnson. They're going to line up Bridgewater from the gun here. He's going to take 1 shot. With 17, they get 12 seconds left. With a short pass, Banyan underneath inside Jet territory ahead to the 47. First catch by Banyan today, picks up a dozen. And they will stop the clock here as they move the chains. 3 seconds left. And now Minnesota will burn their second timeout. Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, is there a new way to treat cancer? A revolutionary doctor thinks so. Here are his plans, only on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, our entire CBS crew. Vikings in front of the Jets, 21-15, 58-year-old Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer. His Vikings still mathematically alive for a postseason spot at 5-7. Trying to win back-to-back games for only the second time this season. They did it back in weeks 8 and 9. Road win at Tampa, and then a home win here against the Redskins.
What you love about Mike Zimmer's team is they're always competing, always contesting, even with 4 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Bridgewater trying to draw the Jets offside. 1st and 10. This should do it for the half. Bridgewater's going to take a shot. Throw an end zone, and it is picked. Darren Walls with the interception. His second of the season. Bridgewater just trying to make something happen. Vikings, keep in mind, will have the football to start the second half.
Here's another look at it. 3 men in the area. Walls come down with it. Jets had it well defended.
End of the first half. Vikings leading the Jets 21-15. The Verizon halftime report coming up next. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Together, we make a network completely dedicated to the NFL. Together, we make the week start on Thursday and Sunday's an all-day destination. Together, we make sparks fly, time fly, butts in seats, butts out of seats. Together, we take an inside journey.
I don't do it for me. I do this for my whole family.
We make the only place for football every single day of the year.
Yes, touchdown!
NFL Network. Together, we make football.
Anna Ferris and Allison Janney star in Mom. CBS Thursday.
Let's go! 50 Omaha, set hot. Right there, nice.
Losing feeling in my toes. Nothing beats that new car smell. Chicken parm, you taste so good.
Nationwide is on your side.
Can we get a little help? We've got Pepsi.
What if we just take like 15 minutes? Halfway through the game? They got Pepsi. So what do we call that?
Halftime.
I like halftime.
Even the first halftime wasn't halftime without Pepsi. See Katy Perry live in the Pepsi Super Bowl 49 halftime show. 1, 2, 3.
all-new head-turning Cadillac ATS Coupe. It's irresistible.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
TNT Thursdays, now that's home.
Thursday night games are pretty special.
You can feel the energy of the crowd.
The floor shakes, the building is rocking. Anytime we're on TNT, we have a flair for the dramatic.
There's nothing like playing on TNT. That's home.